Okay, since very rebellion, okay. Definitely being manipulating here and suggesting me to speak English international, but seems not similar with that. I've got contact on this evening. Said I'm definitive being planned for next manipulation or conspirations among friends. That's too about my family, and seems also these conspirations definitive want to be made come true. That's why I'm singing the song, actually national song. My context say this moment actually camouflage and it will be worried by one current family also, because this actually also about Father Adi Bana Merdeka and Madam Slatina. I'm definitely feeling for that because on this evening I since got contact kind of criminal from any peoples, and that's about also confirmations about my father Aribana Merdeka as Chambers National Indonesian Republic. Definitive true, not fake. I really don't get it. The situations progress seems to about grouping each other for meaning when this progress. Actually, not very clear. But in time on this second also, I'm being silent, so not talking too much. I can take say this moment definitive about jealousy in Indonesian Republic, and also about Islam Indonesia. Context similar for that. Context say this actually faction each others for ownership and leadership in Indonesian Republic also. Context say for the case supernatural not kind of important. Why? Because actually already being manipulated for about Indonesian national political leadership is the I've got contact but about that context say this about peoples in Java Island also in Jakarta, really not fair for the situations actually. supernatural case being blamed to Christian Indonesia community, and suddenly also confirmed for blaming name Irwan Cornell. I've got context similar with that. That's actually from a group of faction politic Indonesian domestic actually, which meaning also Islam Indonesia made their own group for case and camouflage after that, or some kind of dichotomy latent among social. Meanwhile also leave behind for pioneering a case supernatural and bri666 on discovering this kind of politic interest context say this kind of politic interest by Java Island actually also about a dichotomy among social by religions and also Javanese. He needs a national political leadership sparing their self to identity about Islam Indonesia for explain about status suspect also by another side faction identity to Indonesian Christian. Context say this non-fair situation actually came from Java Island and not being recognized by name Irwan Cornell actually. Context say that's already impact on the town Medan actually. Friendship among social already nervous and in time also tense among each others for made group or dichotomy also. There's also about internet social media and also for explain big online also context still prima donna also for that camouflage happening definitive name Irwan Cornell not recognized for the case. I've got contact also chasing sheep from Batak ethnic and town Medan. Still Sindita for the case actually because also their chronology is not a suspect also definitely being busted by confirmations each other's contact chasing also feel about me say definitely being left behind by Indonesia Jakarta being lied being bluffed nonsense waiting moment progress context say that's for the progress next. And guys, also about Adi Bana Merdeka and Slatina context. Actually, doesn't very cool for Indonesia Islam actually. And still about supernatural phenomena. Context said being ordinary actually being hid by friendship because supporting jealous among and that's about also defense to name Irwan Cornell and his family. Okay, meanwhile also I've got contact say from local police also, and also still absurd for identifying that because my contact actually still chasing the truth, experience phenomena contact body supernatural exactly. I'm definitely being camouflaged context similar with that since yesterday to yesterday. Actually, not kind of guilty for about the situations and the conference also context like that. But I'm still being manipulated also context for about my brother and my sister also, and my family actually being planned for about defense by unidentifying peoples or community which already being confirmation also through this moment. Actually, their own background also to Indonesia Islam or institutions following them, such as also BRI and also North Sumatra University. But since they are very bunchy, chicken I mean, they rather to choose this method supernatural contact terror. But as ordinary conversations, they're not doing complaint or talking about the case or situations. Kind of introvert, I think. And that's also for about money. Their ordinary job business. They never talk about that. Seems very hiding. But for about my job business ordinary, that's already being sabotaged by them. If I made question for that, they really complain as their answer. Kind of freak, and I just made the report also because I just want to have a clue for the progress. It's kind of politic indications, I mean. And through this moment evening, I'm still on my neighborhood and noisy, getting silent, not very crowded anymore since last minute. are really being stuck in here since very positions by community. And I got contact that's already changed for the chronology progress to about Indonesia Islam that's being led by some non-responsible peoples actually for using the moment to leave the case and their status as suspect also. Not going to responsible for about internal bri666 on discovery meaning. The case being blamed, I'll repeat again, the case being blamed to Indonesian Christian and a friendship also. Not very clear for the explanations, but seems this about sexuality or porn context being hide for the status also for about being online, being hide, being blamed to Indonesian Christian. Context this kind of oppositions or faction for non-trusting Indonesian Christian or about this case being politic, not in front of law by the Indonesia Islam also. I just received for that message context that's actually for about this moment Hari Raya Idul Fitri Lebaran umat Islam Indonesia. Kind of silent, very sabotage, and context that's actually for about the case supernatural. I want to be spare for about the group among, and that's meaning also for about money through the case. This kind of leave behind context for gaining politic Indonesian national context also through about ISIS also, and also about internal bri666 on discovery meaning as a person that's on potential to become an Indonesian politician next in future. Context that's very jealousy and going to plan by them to make the case and also blame. So that's pointing about the situation, and seems they're not scared for international and still crowd for hearing. Not very identifying because already being combined as experience together and being confused because the moment also supernatural experience phenomenon. They're really professional about that, really latent doing that supernatural method, hiding themselves and planning some kind jerk or about made camouflage or bandits also for about ordinary job business also want to dominate by them. And that's also meaning about internet Indonesia plan through the progress. That's also bri666 being complained, being rejected, being lie for the moment realizations come true. It's kind of faction context similar to oppositions but latent, not being honestly like that. And I just made the confirmation because I'm being suggested also the social already networking themselves by this moment progress to another orientations and also developing bandits in the same time. I've got contact also for about my brother and my sister also. Being talk actually among friends, but fair split for the truth actually, and that's also about the money and about my father and my mother also. Kind of fair for the chronology conversations among friendship. Context said actually my parents being bluffed by them, being criminal by method supernatural of them, but they said that's actually my parents doing criminal camouflage each others and just challenging through the progress. Contact kind of freak is similar with that. And through about also the chronology historical ethnic in misunderstand each others. Context say kind of ledger actually for their thought about this case and also conversations and for about agreement conclusion also. They're very politic and want to honor the beginning, made camouflage criminal by fake conversations with friendship and hiding themselves for about their leader actually. Context their own leader actually very bandits and seems superior, want to make riots, want to make riots or riots, want to make riots, and just being suggested to make the conference again for that also because this moment. I'm definitely being confused again and still similar to radio jockey also about my report, my conference, statement, internet in front of law. Conversations among friendship happening context that's actually not being informed to name it one corner. That's actually already signed for politics but being rejected by name it one corner because they insist for the case in front of law. And context is also for momentum actually to unresponsible peoples among friendship. Context say that actually already include about their family also. As similar with naming one corner also include his parents. But not being informed, but not being fair for investigations, contact together actually being hide and doing conversation behind to make bad story or false chronology about the case about Internet ID 666 Uncle discovering and his family, such also my parents, my father and my mother, and also about my brother and my sister also. Context that's actually for about jealousy. Name Iran Cornell. Actually, attitude or their custom actually since years ago, but just blow up exactly through this momentum. Definitely, we got them, we found them as our experience, friendships, and phenomena contacts supernatural at the same time. Context Indonesian Christian through this moment also being supported by United States America for the political orientation or oppositions country Indonesia, and there's also question to about my parents already claimed by Internet 666 for discovery, and actually there's also confirmation from Metallica and bands there family. But about Indonesian politics, Christian also, and about my parents' ownership, monumental national Indonesian Republic was to be until this moment millennium still being blown up by the ID 666 Mongol discovering also. Context this moment progress also kind of free. The local Indonesian race community also context says still not modern for the thought and rather to choose criminal method for the conclusions. And context are similar also each others actually. Islam Indonesia and Christian Indonesia are similar each others actually, already being posted when they're doing conversations together. And that include also for about their habit, their attitude custom also for long terms ago by their parents perhaps or just begin by them also since this millennium. Kind of freak also criminal and want to make another claim. So it's also the one that need to be executions, not for the case about their status also as suspect that want to be sweet called by Internet ID 666 for discovery. In context I own alibi also actually, but still contradiction also because their delegation also kind of support the suspect community actually because that's kind of hippies or punk actually, not similar with Internet 666 market discovery in context very benefit and in front of law, not kind of potential for friendships riots or about relations with others, similar perhaps for them. Okay, that's all for now. I want to say thank you very much. Tuhan berkati. God bless you. Assalamualaikum. And Om Swantiastu Bodhi Satya.